You've heard their name in stories, Sunday school classes, and from the pulpit. And now it's time to vote to see who is Poplar Springs' favorite Bible character. Hey everybody, Billy here, coming to you for the second round of Bible Madness. I'm coming to you live from Lenore, if you're spending some time with my mother-in-law. So I'm going to run through this real quick. The episode should go a little bit quicker because we've talked about 64 characters and you know them all already. So I'm just going to give you who I think is going to make it to the next round. Y'all go and vote, see if you can surprise me. So coming out of bracket D, the bracket you just voted on, is David, Deborah, Noah, Mark, Rahab, Bartholomew, Samson, and Moses. So you'll see them on the next episode coming up in Wednesday. Just to give you some just some stats from the first round that we did of the 64. Now we're down to 32. You only had 4 upsets. I thought you'd give me more, but you only gave me 4. So there are 4 upsets in there. There are 21 Old Testament characters still in the tournament and 11 New Testament. Now there's more Old Testament characters total in the entire tournament, so that doesn't shock me any. But after this round, it could even out a little bit more. So we'll see what you guys decide to do as we head into round 2. So now we're heading into round 2. We're going to put bracket A and bracket B together, and you'll see how they break down after that. So here we go. Let's move into round 2 with the first match. Paul versus Jacob. All right, so your first round is Paul coming in at the 1 seed, going up against Jacob in the 8 seed. I don't see Paul having any issues with this one, mainly due to the fact you got Paul, Saul turned to Paul, all that good stuff about him and what he's done to start the church and get everything out there. He's up against Jacob, Jacob and Esau, what he stole from Esau and tricked Isaac. So, kind of looking at it, Jacob is super important to the line of leading to Jesus in the Old Testament, but because it's Paul, I don't see it being an issue. But you could surprise me. Let's go take a look at it. Tell me what you think. Job versus Joshua. All right, so here we go. Coming in at the 5 seed, you've got Job. I think Job's still the toughest guy in this entire tournament. So if he doesn't go all the way to the end of A, I'd be shocked. But he's got to get through Paul if he gets through this round. But he is going up against Joshua. So you got Job in the 5 seed, Joshua in the 4 seed. I like Joshua. I think Joshua is a great character. But I don't see him getting past Job. If you actually take time to study up on the characters, I'm still going to go with Job. Job's just too tough of a guy to get through. He should be an upset. 5 versus 4 is not an upset. But it should be some type of upset for him to slide in. So go vote and tell me who you think should get through between Job and Joshua. Solomon versus Peter. All right, here we go. So the 6 seed, Solomon, going up against the 3 seed, Peter. This one's pretty tough, depending on if you're an Old Testament or New Testament fan, whoever you're going to talk about. I'm putting my vote behind Solomon. I think most of you may vote for Peter just because of how close he was with Jesus and how important he is to Jesus' ministry. But I'm going to go with Solomon. I think Solomon, being the wise king that he is, he made a lot of dumb mistakes, but we'll get to the bad things about him when we get farther in with all of these characters. Right now, it's just round 2. 3 and 4 rounds going to be kind of interesting. But I like Solomon over Peter, but I think Peter's going to eventually win it just because of him being a New Testament character. But you could shock me. Go take a look. Tell me who you think. Luke versus Rebecca. All right, and finish up on bracket A in this one. We've got Rebecca, who was an upset coming in at the 10 seed, going up against Luke in the 2 seed. Luke should have a problem with this one. I see Luke sliding into the next round and not having any issues. Rebecca does have kind of some negative stuff that kind of attaches to her. So if you look at all the positives between them, Luke's being New Testament probably has a better shot. Especially what she pulled with Isaac and taking what she took from Esau. So between the two of them, I think Luke's going to get through. But, read up on them. Tell me what you think. You already know all the characters, so it should be an easy vote for you. But if you're a fan of Rebecca, go vote for Rebecca. See where that goes. But Luke's my pick to go to the next round. Mary versus Ruth. All right, here we go. So we are now working in the bracket B. So this is the Mary bracket, and it's still going out from there. So coming in at the 1 seed, still in the B bracket, is Mary. And she's up against Ruth, and it's a tough one. I like Ruth. Ruth is a really good story in the Bible with her and Naomi. But it's still Mary, mother of Jesus. I really thought Joseph was going to get through in the next round, but he didn't. He came up a little short. But, in this one, I'm going to have to give it to Mary. Still the number 1 seed, still going to slide in. I think Ruth's going to probably lose this one, and Mary's going to move on. We'll see. Thomas versus Rachel. All right, this is the 5 versus the 4 seed. I don't know why Thomas is still in there, but he is. So if you're a fan of Thomas, obviously you got him to the next round. So Thomas is coming at the 5 seed. That 5-4 spot is it's a toss-up just like in the other bracket, but this one's tougher because I just don't know who to tell you is going to go through. I mean, in the 4 seed, you got Rachel, and that's Jacob's favorite wife. If you know the story about how Jacob had to eventually get Rachel and having to get Leah and everything. I'm guessing just with these two, I'm going to go with Thomas on it because he's New Testament and he has more lessons to be learned for us when we go to read up on him and everything. I'm not going to call it an upset because I don't think either one of these really needed to be in the next round, but they are. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Thomas, but I don't think it's going to matter because whoever goes to this one's going to have to go through Mary, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. So this is probably the last match they're going to win as they go through. So let's go with Thomas this round, and you tell me who you think should go on. Samuel versus Elijah. Next, we got a 6 seed versus a 3 seed. So we got an Old Testament battle here. We've got Samuel coming in at the 6 seed, who I still think should have been ranked a little bit higher. And you know how important Samuel is when it comes to getting the monarchy going with the kings and everything, eventually finding David. And then you have Elijah, and Elijah's just a tough character. And I still enjoy when he goes against the priest of Baal and having that little showdown and everything. Between the two of them, it's a tough one. It's a toss-up, but I'm going to still weight behind Elijah on this one, with him being a 3 seed and being able to slide in. So that's who I think is going to go on. You tell me who you think should get next. Joseph versus John the Baptist. And finally, the last match you're going to have is Joseph from the Old Testament. This is the bright, colorful coat, Joseph, versus John the Baptist. This one is the toughest one out of everybody in this round, in my opinion, because you've got Joseph, who is just a great character to read up on, has tons of great stuff that you can read and learn from. And then you got John the Baptist. I mean, come on. Crazy guy, lives in the woods, wears animal skins, eats bugs. John is super important to Jesus' story, and that's why I think he has the upper hand here. But just because of what stories can be learned from, I'm going to go with Joseph. I think this is going to be our big upset in this round. I think Joseph is going to be able to slide through and get to the next round just because of all the, like I said, most of the time it's whoever has the best Bible stories we learned as a kid. And a lot of the New Testament characters we really harp more on when we get older, not so much as the kids' lessons that we have grown up on. So we probably have more lessons to work with Joseph. So my money's on Joseph. I think Joseph's going to go to the next round, and John, it's going to be a tight one, maybe a 60-40 split, maybe. But we'll see. But those are the matchups for this week. To go find the link, go and vote. I've already had some people say, how can you let such and such go to the next round? Billy didn't let anybody go to the next round. Y'all have to vote on these things. So make sure you take the time to vote. Go push your next character to the next round because we're going from 32 down to 16. We're narrowing it down pretty quickly. And this last matchup's coming up, and we'll talk more about it on Wednesday with the C and D brackets to see who's going to go on. I'll fill you in who went to this one, and it is what it is. So until next time, happy voting. Hope your character makes it to the next round.